What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. As always, I am your host, Easy the Shinobi, and welcome to summertime. We're halfway through the year. I know this thing went by really quick. I've been surprised at it too. And yeah, man, it's been a packed year so far, and it continues to be a packed year, especially when it comes to anime and video games and anything within the anime sphere. So yeah, we'll try our best to get into it and keep you updated as much as possible. Speaking of which, let's jump into some anime news. To start us off, just a quick recap of the anime awards that happened over this last weekend. We'll do a couple categories here. My Hero Academia Final Season 1 Anime of the Year. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1, they took home Movie of the Year. Gachiakura won Best New Series. ReZero Season 3, they took Best Isekai. And Mal from Apothecary Diaries won Best Main Character. And I know there's been a lot of discussion and a lot of differing opinions when it comes to the anime awards section, specifically anime of the year and movie of the year. And just a note for anybody that's listening, we just got to remember, these awards are subjective. It's basically people are going to have their different picks, and it rarely comes to be a unanimous thing where it's like, okay, this is the definite anime of the year, especially when there was, as like I mentioned last episode, or a few episodes ago, when the nominees were announced, when with especially anime of the year being, like in my opinion, the most varied it's been since the award started, without it being a clear winner. And truth be told, I mean, I know I voted or I know I wanted Apothecary Diaries to take it mainly because I did like the mystery aspect of it. But I'm also not mad either about my hero final season taking it, because the final season was pretty good and it did cap off the story in a really good way, especially in the end, where with Deku overcoming Shigaraki and essentially Class 1A becoming the symbol of a new generation of four heroes and stuff. Um, so again, it is subjective. If you feel it was my hero, then all fair play to you. As well as basically felt it was Dandadan or Apothecary Diaries or Takapi's Original Sin. Yeah, if you feel like those were the your picks for end of the year, hey, you weren't wrong on those, because at the end of the day, it is all subjective, and you know, we just gotta remember, that basically watching anime, that's what brings us together, and we're all fans of this art form. So, continue to watch it, continue to be fans of the shows you like and the shows you rep, and also, don't never forget to check out any new stuff that catches your interest, and enjoy it. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Simple as that, and life goes on. Speaking of Takabi's Original Sin, it did get recently announced that they are going to be having a movie adaptation for the series called "Thank You, See You Again Tomorrow." The movie's going to compile all 6 episodes with new scenes included in the compilation. There's no release date as of yet, but once we get more information, you know where to come to for more updates regarding it. We'll keep you posted. Speaking of movie projects, the creator of the legendary anime movie Akira is working on a new movie titled Orbital Era. There hasn't been much information as of yet, except for the title, and there's no release date as of now. But we'll make sure to keep you updated, because I know there's a lot of fans of Akira of the movie as well. So this should be something. This should be something to keep you interested and keep you looking forward to it. So, one sec. Sorry, folks. Just had to take a quick call from my brother, who's barely getting off work. But yeah, let's get this train back on track. let's see, some more anime news after the Orbital Era announcement. Release That Witch. The current season has ended with 8 episodes due to some production issues. It was originally scheduled for 12 episodes, and I believe there was a season 2 announced for a future date. Um, but yeah, as of now, the season 1 run has ended with 8 episodes. We'll keep you posted for season 2, for any season 2 news in the next coming months as soon as we get some. Gate 2, Ties of Conflict. Speaking of season 2s, we got more information on the release date. It will premiere in 2027. There's no exact date of it as of now, but we'll be sure to get some within, assuming within the next few months. And as soon as we do, you know where to come to. Moving on from that to some to some DLC news, especially for Baki fans out there. I'm pretty sure by the time this episode releases, you guys already know about the big announcement. But Yujo Hanma over the weekend was confirmed for a future Tekken 8 DLC that's set to release in early 2027. Um, I know this was part of I think, a future roadmap announcement for Tekken 8, laying out laying out some of the future DLCs that will be coming shortly. And yeah, we got well, we essentially got the one of the most indestructible characters in fighting anime history. Confirmed for it. So, in case you're a fan of Baki or and you happen to have Tekken 8, this is going to be something that you're potentially looking forward to. So yeah, be on the lookout for early 2027. Let's see. Oh, we did. Now we have some more news on Bochi the Rock. As people may know, that the manga itself went on hiatus in early January, and for some time, and now it's going to be coming back on June 18th on the weekly manga magazine where it comes out in, after 5 months of hiatus. And so, in case you're missing Butcher the Rock, it should be coming out later, or the new chapter will be coming out later this month. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. To follow up on some recent news from the last episode, My Hero Academia short I Am a Hero 2 was officially confirmed for a August 3rd release date. But if you are going to Anime Expo, you're in luck because there will be a special screening for fans in July for that are attending Anime Expo. Speaking of which, there are some Anime Expo news that we'll be covering in the next episode, with some premieres and some video game news as well. That's going to be available at the con. But yeah, we'll be covering those in the next couple weeks as well. And that's about it for our anime news section. Let's head on to a 3 episode review. I know it's been a minute since I did one of these. Um, and funny enough, this I was recommended this anime from Green Spectre. It is one that's currently a part of the ongoing anime season, and it's Kill Blue. So, in case people were interested in checking it out, or at least giving the 3 episode um, taste test, I guess. Here's what it's about. It follows Juzo Ogami, a 39-year-old hitman who's a top hitman for the ZOO, or Zoo organization. And in the first episode, you see him essentially infiltrating a lab of a pharmaceutical company, and it's his kind of rundown sort of warehouse ish lab where after he takes out the scientist, he finds a broken tube that has an empty wasp nest inside the glass casing. And he doesn't put any more attention to it because he pretty much got the job done where he was instructed to take out the scientists that were working in the lab. Um, and he ends up going home and gets ready to sleep, only to get stung by one of the wasps from the tube that managed to latch onto his neck. Um, and here's where the kicker comes in. So he passes out. He wakes up in the hospital, or in Zoo's hospital, Um, and where he's accompanied by his ex-wife Eri, who happens to be Zeus' top scientist. And that's where he finds out that the pharmaceutical company was doing advanced biological testing on insects, and the testing and the results of some of that testing happened to be that the wasp venom was developed a chemical property that caused Juzo to age back from 39 years old to 13 years old. So now he's back to being a teenager. And then shortly afterwards, he gets assigned a new mission by Zoo's director to pose as a middle school student at a middle school that the director's daughter is going to be attending soon. And he wants Juzo to check it out to see if basically, if it's a good fit for his daughter. And so now, at 13 years old, Juzo has to guide through a middle school life that he's never had before, with the help of his junior Nakota and the special glasses tech, where Nakota could essentially look through the lenses and essentially kind of give advice and information to Juzo on how to navigate middle school life and life as a teenager, basically. What's funny about it is that you know. As the season goes on, you start to learn more about Juzo's basically his backstory and as well as his relationship with his ex-wife and stuff. And then you find out that pretty much he has never gone through middle school. He reveals it in, I think, on the third or fourth episode. He reveals it that he did have like a normal childhood where he never really attended school, where he basically just ditched class and go and play and stuff. He was taken in fairly early by Zoo, um, who basically to be trained as an assassin and as a hitman. So he never really got a chance to be a teenager and learn essentially, essentially a middle school life. And what's funny about it is that at the start, he feels that okay, I've had all this experience, and I'm pretty much an adult, so I don't really see the point of essentially going to middle school. And in his opinion, we see it that he's terrible at interacting with people younger than him, or especially with kids and teens. Um, Only for him to essentially get attached to middle school by because of his love because of his love for studying. And so basically the basic information that he learns that all these kids already know and learn from like elementary school stuff, he's learning it for the first time. And so he develops a habit and a love for studying to the point where he gets bummed out. Where he gets bummed out at the fact that whenever he finishes up homework or whenever he's caught up with his assignments, he feels like he has nothing to do because it's like, well, I enjoy studying and learning, so that's he feels like it's basically kind of that he has nothing else to do and stuff, right? Um, Now, but yeah, overall, I won't spoil too much of it. This is only just a quick recap of the first three episodes. But, I mean, overall, I think it's a fairly solid anime that's been airing during the midst of this anime season. And yeah, it's worth checking out. Some of the action scenes are pretty solid. I know he does adopt essentially because he still has his skills as a hitman, but instead of essentially assassination now, he basically adopts more kind of like rubber bullets and stuff in his arsenal. But yeah, it is interesting, and it is pretty funny to see him go in between being a teenager technically for the first time in his life, and to completing his assignments as a hitman. And we do get more information on a potential cure for him to be able to turn back into to his old self, to his adult self. Um, but I will leave that in suspense for you, dear listener, because I want you to check out the show, and it's very good. But again, if you're interested in checking it out, it is called Kill Blue. I believe the manga ended 2 years ago when I was researching this. So, in case you're interested in reading the manga, you could also catch up to it as well after the season ends. But yeah, it's a 3 episode review. And moving on from that, I know we're in June. Anime is over, but I wanted to give one last prompt. And as I started out in the last episode, um, it's also kind of let's just grandfather this in if we can. So a new anime prompt that I wanted to give out to you guys is a simple one. What's your guys' favorite fight scene in anime history? It could be just a singular one that is like, okay, this is for sure my favorite, or we have a couple that you essentially want to share in the comments. So some from popular animes, or some from animes that basically you want people to check out as well. That's also it's also welcome. I'll give mine. I have one that basically comes to mind right away is the Kakashi versus Obito fight from Naruto Shippuden. Mainly, I love it due to the fact that it's on top of the hand-to-hand combat animation being very crisp. I do like basically how it fades in and out between basically when they were kids. It shows how far and they come as adults and fighting during the fourth grade ninja war. And it was one of the more beautifully done fighting scenes that I got to experience in my time watching anime. And so, at least for me, I would choose that as my favorite. But yeah, in case you have any one that's basically some of your favorites as well, feel free to share in the comments. Another honorable mention one that I want to include in from basically recent seasons is the fight between Sung Jinwoo and the Ant King from Solo Leveling. Yeah, because that was when I first watched it, that was an insane fight. And I do like the latter half of it when the Ant King figures out that he's in over his head and he decides to run, and Jin was just like, "Nah, you're not leaving right after all the stuff that you've done, after all the people you killed. Nah, you don't get to leave. You're getting this fucking ass whooping right now." Oh man, so yeah, that's another one. In case I know it's up on YouTube. In case you guys want to check out that fight, it's worth it. And it's worth it as well as the Kakashi Obito fight. But yeah, that's my last prompt for anime. The Otaku Kickback Sessions, and again, feel free to share in the comments if what are your favorite fight scenes in anime, and hopefully people will check. You encourage people to check them out. And yeah, that's about it for this episode of the Otaku Kickback Sessions. Thank you guys again for joining me on this. Please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Otaku_Kickbacks and as well as Blue Sky at Otaku Kickback Sessions. We're going to be continuing on throughout the summer because, like I mentioned at the start of the episode, it is going to be a packed summer. And I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be, especially when it comes to video games. I know we got State of Play coming up in about an hour or so. Um, and we're going to get some good gaming announcements as well. Um, so, yeah, looking forward to it. Some last words, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay cool out there. It is going to start heating up a lot more soon. So, always hydrate, drink water, find some shade. Yeah, just kick back, watch some anime, play some video games, read some manga, and just enjoy life. We only got one go around, so you know, you gotta make the most of it. And yeah, again, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you. I'll see you on the next one.